Hello, in this video I'm going to have a look at how we might make a print panel using LightRoom. So I've created a target collection and I've put 3 images into it, and now I'm going to go into the print section of LightRoom, and I've chosen A4. Now A4 isn't quite the same dimensions as 16 by 9, but it's good enough for what we want to do. So I've cleared the layout, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add things to it to actually represent where I want the images to go. So I'm going to put one box here, one box here. Now I'm going to leave a little bit of space at the bottom. As I said before, that's because of the different aspect ratio of the 1920 by 1200 and what you get out of A4. Hopefully that'll become clear in a minute. And we'll put this box here. So now all I have to do is drag my photos into the box. Now I can actually bring these over a little bit because they're both landscapes. If you hold down the control, you can adjust where the image is in the box, and I just want to make that slightly different. So now we've got our basic layout. What I'm going to do now is try. So you can actually put a little border. If you want to put a border on your photos, you can do. You can reduce the width of the border, and you can increase or decrease the stroke size if you want to have a stroke. So we might have a little tiny stroke there. Let's take that border off and just have a stroke. I don't really want that. I'm just going to tweak that again. Now you can actually choose the colour of the stroke. It's often a good idea to pick up a colour that's close to one of the ones in the thing. So if you put your dropper over there, now you have to hold control while you drag out to somewhere. So let's go for this sort of colour here. And that's going to be our stroke colour. Now the other thing I want to do is I want to do for the border on the image, and what I did with this colour here, did the same thing. I came over here and found a colour that wasn't too strong part of the image. So now we've got all of that set up, pretty much ready to go. If you print this about 240 PDI, you'll see that it comes out roughly where we want it to be. So I'm going to print that to a file. So let's put it somewhere useful. So I'll create a new folder. Select that folder. So we need to put a file in. So this is going to be the title of the thing. So I'm just going to call it panel 1. Save that. So it's actually doing a bit of work up here, preparing the print job and printing it. So now if I come over to here, we look in PDI panels, and we'll have in here an image. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open that with Photoshop. Here's my image. If we have a look at the size of the image, it's slightly bigger than we want. So let me just take that down to 1920, and that is 1357, which is slightly higher than what we want. So we've got this little bit on the bottom that I deliberately put on, so what I'm going to do now is just bring that in till, well, we're not quite there. I'll bring it to there. It should be good enough. And then we just do a little resize again, just to make sure everything fits into 19. It's not quite as big as 1920, but it's very close. 1200. So that's our panel, and we just have to save that. Save it back onto itself. Something I always tell people never to do. But in this case, I just want a JPEG. So if we just have a look at that image in an image viewer, you see we've got it laid out, we've got a slight stroke around each image, and we have a background. And obviously you can play around with the layout exactly as you like. You can save layouts and things in LightRoom if you want to, but if you're just making one panel, it's hardly worth it. So that's how you do it in LightRoom.